We'll see what happens. Enjoy. To the boy who made everything confusing, in the best and the worst way. I don't think I knew what love was back then. Not really. I just knew that you were the person I was longing to see every day after I get back home from school. You were a few years older than me, and I admired everything you did, and trusted everything you said, or even followed everything that you did do. I like the things you like, I love the things you love, I watch the things you watched, I ate the things you eat. Well, we grew up together for so many years, so I guess that's normal, right? Completely normal. Boys have best friends, and best friends admire each other. Except there was something else. A feeling that I didn't have words for yet. A strange, wonderful excitement. You know, we did explore that. Just as two innocent teenagers. And it made the 11-year-old me taste the forbidden fruit and keep wanting more of it. When I started going to secondary school and I was still in primary school, I started to experience this interesting taste of longings, waiting for you nice for a few hours. Sometimes you didn't come back till dinner, and sometimes you come back a few hours earlier, which always makes me incredibly happy. And I will set up all the board games I want to play with you, and of course, hoping to taste again the forbidden fruits. I don't know when I realized that it was just aberration, or maybe it wasn't. Doesn't matter. But my stomach were flipping when we were together. Maybe it was the way I wanted to tell you everything, but also want to keep some of that hidden. Actually, sometimes you make me feel really sad, especially your rejection. And I was at this age that I have no idea. There's just something very usual. Of course, you never knew how hurt I felt. How could you? I barely knew myself. And even if I had, what would I have done? Tell you, hey, I think I might be in love with you, but don't worry, I'm also deeply confused about it, so let's just go to play in the park. I think feelings must fold themselves into something unspoken, something I carry with me long after we both moved on. And now, years later, I can look back at the boy I was, so full of longing and confusion, and smile because I understand him now. I understand what he was feeling. I understand that feeling doesn't always arrive with clarity. Sometimes it comes in fragments, in half-formed thoughts, in the ache of wanting something without knowing what it is. So, wherever you are now, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being the first person to make my heart race and ache. And now I start to understand this part of my story after all these years. Me. the boy who led me into the wild. It took me 10 seconds to say yes. 10 seconds between the life I thought I was living and the one that every moment is made out of miracles. 10 seconds between crying on the street of Paris and following you south all the way to the Mediterranean on a bike. You, with your beautiful blonde hair and your purity and innocence, saying, "Come with me." And me, just with my instant gut reply, saying, "Yes, I do." And so we went through vineyards where we stole fruits like children, and through quiet roads that stretched into forever in the dark forest, through rainstorms that soaked our clothes until we were nothing but shivering skin and laughter, and we bathed in the cold in the river like wild things. We slept in our tent with the fire which lit, and our breath warmed the tent in shivering cold winter. And I remember we stayed at the parents of your friend in a grand mansion in Versailles, where we were dancing to jazz and drinking wine and eating steaks and loving in a bed covered with rose petals. And I also remember that we lived in a Christian community in the middle of the mountain, and we chant and play and pray. In the night, we cuddled asleep in the dormitory. And I remember we were in the most beautiful medieval town that was protected by fortress, and we buy cheese and organic vegetables in the local markets. I remember everything. Everything. I remember the firelights against my skin, the weight of your breath and the space between words, the way we turn philosophy into purity, unraveling the mysteries of love, as if we had known it for longer than long. I also remember the way your hands traced maps across my body, as if learning the road we had yet to travel. That you don't quite know the way, but you do know how to get there with confidence, passion, and determination. And I remember the ways of you that makes me feel so safe, like tying a stone on the lake, or feelings I fly with you. By the time I left you, I could never know that was the last time until now I've ever loved so recklessly. Or maybe I never really loved you at all. I still love with this recklessness, just not only to you, but to love. With all the reckless love in the world. Me. tale. It's like an epic of Tolstoy, long enough to last the years and still not finish the first volume. I vow to stand beside you, not as a perfect lover, because we both know that I'm impossibly flawed, but as a real one who will stand beside you when you need me. And of course, I'm also keeping my boundaries, so you still have to do the dishes and never leave my bathtub stinky. Otherwise, I'll have to steal all your blankets in the middle of the night and slide my cold feet into your warm bed. I vow to have adventure with you, not just across mountains and rivers, but through many, many, many more piles of uncharted dirty laundries. And when the path is steep, I'll climb inside of you, or you climb inside of me, because I know that would fix everything temporarily. And when we are lost, I will not fear, because being lost with you is still being home. And I vow to listen to the words you say, accept the nonsense. And when you start sighing, I would kindly put on my headphone so this can ensure the longevity of our marriage. And of course, I'll learn you over and over again anew, as if you were a language I will never stop translating. I vow that I will reach for your hands even when I'm hungry. I'll always make you a cup of tea when I know you've had a hard day, also in the normal day, and always comfort you even though we are fighting. I'll keep showing up even when love feels like work. I vow to change with you, to let love become something that grows, something that bends, but I'll do the effort to make it well erected. And when time has its way with us, when our hands are softer, when our laughter has deepened into something slower, and when our anus slowly prolapsing, I vow to look at you and still see the same spark that led me here, standing in front of you saying, you look so cute, and you still are. to the one I once vowed to tolerate forever. Well, here we are. Turn out, Tolstoy was right. Some stories do go on too long. I thought our love would be an epic, but sometimes, in somewhere between chapter 3, the honeymoon phase, and chapter 27, why do you so stubbornly keep loading the dishwasher like that? The plot got a little predictable. I vowed to stand beside you, and I did. I stood beside you. You put the wrong thing into the recycling bin again. And I stood beside you when you left your socks in places socks should never be. And yes, I stood beside you when you left my bathtub stinky until one day I snapped, stole the blanket and realized I had reached my spinal straw. I vowed to venture with you, not just through mountains and rivers, but through the vast, treacherous string of dirty laundry, and yet somehow it always me. Doing the climbing while you were supervised from the couch, farting and watching your foot bath, and not to mention skin marks. As for getting lost together, I thought we'll be lost in the poetry of love. Not you always walk so far ahead of me, and I cannot find you in the ocean of people in Oxford Street, and to keep calling you for half an hour until you pick up. I vowed to listen to you, and I did. To your dreams, your worries, your philosophical musing at 2 a.m., but as promised, I also put on my headphones when the nonsense became unbearable. That at least kept us together longer than we had any right to be. I vowed to let our love grow, and I did. I even vowed to make sure things stay well erected, but let's be honest, some efforts are more appreciated than the others. And when time had its way with us, when our hands grew softer and our laughter slowed, when our back ached from simply existing, when things remained, you were still cute to me, annoying, exasperating, impossible, but cute. So here's to us, our love, our story, our ridiculous and our ridiculously wonderful meddling years together, and live with no regret and gratitude, just simply living away until our anus prolapses, probably for the better. So at least we can now still go back on Grindr to find some comfort, and maybe, just maybe, one last stolen blanket for the old time's sake. Fondly, me. To you, after all this time. It's funny, isn't it? How love changes shape but never really disappears. How after all these years and after a year without Tommy, I still find myself writing to you. I used to think that love was something grand, a Dostoevsky epic, sweeping and endless. Then I thought love was a battlefield, or at least an endless debate of proper dishwasher loading techniques. And then for a while, after countless distractions, I thought love was just over. What's wrong? Love never really passes. It lingers, it settles into the quiet corners of us, just like dust in an old house. Subtle, stubborn, impossible to fully strip away. And speaking of quiet, the house has been too much of that lately. Tommy, Tommy. He had a way of filling the space, not just with his voice, but with his sheer being. Now that he's gone, I find myself making tea for two, only to remember there's no one sitting across from me, and drink both of it. I don't say this to be dramatic, it's just one of those old little details of life that you never expected about it before. So here I am, a little slower, a little more forgetful, still speaking too loudly everywhere, and still banging on my piano with all my exasperation. And strangely, still laughing when I think about how many nights that I've stolen the blankets from you. I think about us sometimes, not with longing, not with regret, but with the kind of fondness that you have for an old friend. It's like something you should have let go of long ago and whatever. It means a lot, really a lot. I don't resent the fight. I don't resent the leaving. I don't even resent the fact that for years I kept making spaghetti your way because I could never quite unlearn it. I have to confess, even reluctantly, some parts of you have become me. I used to think that when love ended, the story ended, but now I know better. The story keeps going, the perspective also changes. Now I want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for the good years, for the maddening years, and all the ways that you made me laugh and made me feel warm in my heart when I most needed. And in the end, actually you've taught me what love means. You mean something to me. You did and you still do. So wherever you are, if you happen to get this, come find me. Not for anything dramatic, not for anything final, but just wait for an hour or so for a cup of tea. Like the old times. With a heart that is older, a house that is quieter, and a cat that still whistles. Me. Ah, there you are. Come closer. I can't quite see you properly from there. Or maybe I can. I just don't want to yell at you. You know, I always thought I have something deep to say, as I always did in my show, and stuff that makes people weep and nod. Here I am. All I can think about is how cold my feet are. Would you put your hand here, just for a second, please? Thank you. Do you remember that night in the vineyard that we were dumpster diving under the stars in southern France? How romantic it was, wasn't it? And the sea, the ocean, I mean, it's the sea, the Mediterranean. And I felt it, oh, I felt it with you, I did. And you're still here. You always were, even when you were not. Do you love me? Did you love me? I hope. No, but I know that you loved me too. You did love me. Probably even more than I love you. So my love, you know I'm not afraid. I still remember how it was when I did that big dose of mushroom. I'm ready. Touch me. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Give me this space that I can share